You're watching a rocket rise, a blaze of fire and ambition. It's not just a spectacle, it's the beginning of a journey that SpaceX has mastered. But how exactly do they launch satellites? Let's dive right into the heart of the process that has transformed space exploration. Imagine the Falcon 9, SpaceX's workhorse, standing tall on the launch pad at Cape Canaveral, Florida. It's a two-stage rocket designed for reusability, a concept that seemed like science fiction just a decade ago. The countdown begins, and the tension builds. A controlled explosion propels the rocket skyward, breaking free from Earth's gravity. But what happens next? As the rocket ascends, the first stage burns for about 2.5 minutes, consuming liquid oxygen and rocket-grade kerosene. This powerful thrust propels the rocket to the edge of space. Then, in a breathtaking maneuver, the first stage separates and begins its journey back to Earth. This is where SpaceX's innovation shines. Using grid fins for guidance, the first stage lands vertically on a drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean, ready to be refurbished and used again. Meanwhile, the second stage takes over, carrying the payload higher into orbit. This stage burns for around 6 minutes, placing the satellite into a preliminary orbit. At this point, the fairing, which protected the satellite during launch, is jettisoned. Interestingly, SpaceX has also developed technology to recover these fairings, further cutting costs. Now, let's talk about the payload. SpaceX launches a variety of satellites, from commercial communications satellites to Starlink satellites, which aim to provide global internet coverage. In fact, as of 2024, SpaceX has launched over 4,000 Starlink satellites, making it the largest satellite constellation in history. The second stage continues its journey, fine-tuning the orbit with precise engine burns. Once the desired orbit is achieved, the satellite is released. It's a delicate operation, ensuring the satellite is positioned correctly to begin its mission. This entire process, from launch to deployment, is orchestrated with incredible precision. But what makes SpaceX truly remarkable is their vision for the future. With the Starship rocket, they plan to carry even larger payloads and eventually transport humans to Mars. The Starship is designed to be fully reusable, a leap forward in making space travel more sustainable and affordable. Did you know that SpaceX is also working on a project called Polaris Dawn? It's a private mission aimed at conducting the first commercial spacewalk, scheduled for later this year. This mission will test new technologies and push the boundaries of human spaceflight. Now, back to the Falcon 9. While the second stage completes its mission, the first stage has already landed and is being prepared for its next launch. This reusability is key to SpaceX's success, drastically reducing the cost of sending satellites into orbit. So, there you have it. From the initial roar of the engines to the precise deployment of satellites, SpaceX has revolutionized the way we access space. Their relentless pursuit of innovation continues to push the boundaries, making space more accessible than ever before.